Well, it's official. Ladies and gentlemen, what is going on, everybody? My name is Blitzwinger, and ladies and gents, LEGO DC Supervillains is now indeed a reality. Now, of course, this started all probably about 8 months ago, was the beginning of this whole turmoil and this whole ride of what is the next LEGO game going to be. And now, of course, we have a final confirmation of the rumors were true. Of course, we had LEGO Incredibles first confirmed. Now we have the confirmation of LEGO DC Supervillains. That is the full title. So I'm wondering how many of you guys guessed the actual name correctly. So I'm looking forward to seeing and going back to the last video and seeing how you guys did. We're going to watch the trailer here in just a second together. I want to give you guys a little bit of a warning. I have pre-watched the trailer because I knew that usually the trailers contain copyrighted music. So I'm going to go on ahead and mute basically my trailer. So if you want to see the actual trailer, I will link to the WB Games page so you can go on ahead and watch it there and check it out on their end. So we're going to discuss the trailer in 3, 2, 1. So of course it starts exactly like the teaser. And then of course the villains are coming. Uh-oh. It looks like there's lots of trouble. Hey, look at that! That's a really cool character model for Commissioner Gordon. And there's the Joker. A little bit of a complaint there. I'm not really sure why he looks exactly the same as before, as far as the character model. I do like that Harley looks different, so that's great. That looks like Stanley, honestly, a little bit, doesn't it? Just a wee little bit. Then we have Reverse Flash. Or Zoom, I should say. Then we got Poison Ivy. So far, we've got kind of the traditional villains that we see. And here's the huge twist. In my mind, at least. This looks brilliant, because we see all these different characters swapping in and out. And then, of course, we jump to DC Supervillains coming to us on October 16th, 2018, which is also kind of crazy that it's going to be quite this soon. So, let's discuss kind of first and foremost the fundamental stuff, and then we're going to get speculating, because that's always a whole lot of fun. So, first and foremost, the stuff that we know. The game will be coming out on the Nintendo Switch, the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. So, we will get all 4 of those versions on October 16th of 2018, which is already cool, because again, that's really not that far away. So quite surprising that we're going to have a LEGO game coming out in just a handful of days, like a little less than 2 weeks, which is awesome. And then just a few weeks after that, we have LEGO DC Supervillains, which is really cool as well. Then, some of the other details that we know of course, is that it will focus on the villains, clearly, as the trailer is showing to us the fact that the villains are going to be at the epicenter of this particular game, which is really cool and quite exciting. Obviously, the game is going to be called LEGO DC Supervillains, which, again, very cool to finally have an official title. I'm very, very hopeful that what they will do is, if this really is going to be a traditional LEGO Supervillains game focused, or sorry, villain focused game, then I really hope we get a hero campaign, kind of like what they did in the first LEGO Batman game. Remember, where you could go through the campaign as Batman and Robin, and then once you were done, you were like, hey, wait, what? And then you could play through most of the campaign missions again, but this time as the villains and from the villains' perspective, like what led to the moment at which Batman and Robin then needed to go stop them. So I think that that is a really, really awesome idea, and I hope that maybe they'll flip it on its head here and focus on the villains first, and then go like, hey, by the way, now you get to play as the heroes. But here's the most exciting thing, and that's really what came in the latter half of the trailer, when Joker says, hey, why don't you come help us? And then we see a whole lot of character changes. We see a whole lot of different characters, a whole lot of different customs and such, and that's really, really exciting, because that's something that I've been making an argument for quite a while now, and that is that, from what it seems like, we might be able to create our very own villain character in this game and then play as that character, which I think is awesome. So essentially, you're going to create your own supervillain character, and then you will go through the missions. Now again, this is not confirmed, but this is something that from the trailer could be possible, which sounds really exciting, because if you really think about the concept of LEGO, yes, of course, there's a lot of licensed properties for LEGO, and a lot of the most successful LEGO sets are licensed stuff, whether it be from vehicles all the way down to the actual characters, like in the case of superhero sets, where we get Spider-Man, and in this case Batman, or DC heroes, and they all go on ahead and battle one another, or you play as battling with them at one another. But the point is that oftentimes, if you've ever played with Lego as a kid, an adult, whatever it might be, you would customize your own characters, right? Like you'd put together your own minifigures, your own designs and such. And now it seems like that idea is going to transition into the Lego games. The other thing that has me super excited for this is that I'm hopeful that that means that the customizer is really going to be at the center of this game, which means that the customizer should be exceptional. And hopefully that will be the case, because Lego Marvel Superheroes 2, as good as that customizer is, and honestly, compared to the previous ones that we've gotten, it is excellent. I would go that far. But I really do think that there's still tons and tons that they could do to improve it, and hopefully this is the sign that we are going to see those improvements. With all of that being said, ladies and gents, I would love to hear your opinions and your thoughts about the game. Are you excited? Are you not excited? Do you like the title? Do you like the design for the game cover? Because I think it looks great. I really, really do think it turned out fantastically well. And final piece of detail that we need to discuss is that, of course, at the end screen of the trailer, we also see that there will be, once again, a deluxe edition for this game as well, which means that, of course, you will get a season pass with this game as well, which is quite interesting because it kind of makes me think, like, what are they going to do for the season pass? Because it's probably going to be a comic book focused game, it seems like, or at least on the comic book characters. They're not going to really focus on the DC cinematic universe. So because of that, I'm hopeful that all the season pass DLC is storyline specific stuff. So like if they could take big comic book storylines, you could maybe take some recent stuff like Metals, or Metal, I should say, from the comics, or Court of Owls, whatever it might be. You take really big comic book storylines. They don't all have to be, by the way, Batman based. It's just that I read mostly Batman, so that's why I mentioned those two. But I would really, really love to see some big storylines from the comics being brought into the game in the form of Season Pass, so that we could kind of play through a level or a sequence from those storyline events. Nevertheless, ladies and gents, of course, if you guys enjoyed today's video, please don't forget to hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't yet. Make sure you have your notifications turned on, because there's tons and tons more LEGO DC supervillains information coming your way, hopefully shortly. Have an absolutely fantastic day, and I'll see you later, alligators.